And hello to all my Scorpio friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for April 2023. Now today they've dialed up something very special for my great Scorpios. Now what we're going to do though is we're going to set it up in the storyline format. It allows me to be very accurate because it casts a very wide net across the entire sign of Scorpio. We're going to be telling different stories for different Scorpios, all, like I said, specifically on the theme of financially. Finances, money. Money is coming up for my great Scorpios. There's something they want to bring your financial awareness to in the month of April, so much that they designated an entire spread to do so. So we're going to be telling different stories, and you can sometimes have multiple stories resonate with you. I've had people tell me that that is often the case. However, there is going to be one story in here that is a home run for you, and that is our goal today, is to find your story that is all about you and your situation financially and get you some good advice here for April. So we're going to get started with that. They've asked that I conclude your reading with not just a rune stone, but also with a couple angel protection cards. All that's going to do is give us a little extra push toward a certain direction. Maybe a couple stories specifically get extra, or maybe it's just for the entire sign and we're not really sure yet. We're just going to have to see what comes up. So everything's ready, guys. The cards are already pre-shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. Now I'm going to bring you in the overhead camera here so you can watch. I like to share my table with you and show you what is going on. And I do believe we are recording. All right, we're on it. Here we go. So what I'm doing now, Scorpio, these are my ritual cuts, cutting each deck into 3 different parts, put them back together in a separate order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private readings. It's just like you're here with me now. I am working with a different phone here, so hopefully this gets it done for us today. My old phone pooped out on me, and I'm using a kind of a temporary phone here. So here we go. Any storyline spread starts with 5 cards, guys. I expand out from there where I need to go. Here is your first set of 5. And I must also say that this deck, which I call my geometric deck, well, as soon as I was about to say this makes very large storylines, Spirit said, oh, actually, no, it's not the case, at least not today. Today it's a very short storyline because we have this fella here looking back inward. That brackets me off like that. Lets me know we're on a full stop. So there we go. So these are all the cards that we're going to get for the core group. Now I'm going to attach stuff on there to get more information on everything that is going on. However, first, we have a lot blocked. So I need to do a discard to see if Spirit wants to leave it that way or if we're going to kind of upright everything. And they say, no, we're going to actually leave it just the way it is. So I just got to get my pairings together and we can get moving. This is going to be one story here, and then we got a standalone. So we're looking at 3 different financial stories here for my great Scorpios, guys. Still a lot blocked. We're going to address that individual stories once I get the rest of my cards. So let me pull some cards here. This is a Major Arcana card. It's going to get 2 cards. This is also a Major Arcana card. Also going to get 2 cards to attach to it. Pull those. These overall, all the way on my right, these are all pip cards. I'm just going to bring up 1 card for the whole group instead of attached to a couple, because it's really kind of a lot of details all by itself. It doesn't really need a lot more. That is completely blocked though, for sure. So we have a lot of blocked stories except for this middle one, which doesn't need much attention, except for that this is a person card. So I need to see if that's a person or we're using the energetic definition of it. And they told me a person because I have 2 princes. 2 people cards, 2 court cards makes a person for me. Need to check on this king as well, same concept. And that one they say no. That one we're using the energetic definition of that king. So the last thing that I need is, besides my discards, to check the reverts on the stories, I do need angel cards for every one. Now this is going to help me with the process of, do I need to upright or do I need to do a discard, because this also counts as an inverted card if it comes in inverted. So that one, for example, did. Every story is going to get one of these, and so did this one. So basically, these, I don't read the angel cards upside down. I read all the other cards inverted. So what happens there is your 78 definitions of tarot turn into 156. It gives Spirit a lot more vocabulary to work with. However, this one was blocked. I remember this one was blocked first. So that is 1, 2, 3 blocked out of 5. That's actually still good enough to go. Not enough to matter. Over here, though, this actually keeps it the way it is. And then over here, all the way on my right, I hope that's still on the camera view. I'm bringing it back in, hopefully, to get it there. We were completely blocked because this one was also inverted, so we definitely need a discard here to see if Spirit wants to leave that alone or upright the entire thing. This one, they do say upright. Now, the order does need to stay the same. That is very important to do so in tarot because facings matter. It's a big part of the readings is with the facings. So we're all done with all the card work now, guys. It's just a matter of showing it all to you. I'm going to yank it off of here and make sure you can see it nice and clear. So, financial story 1 will be right there. We're going to come into financial story 2. I'm going to actually save that one for last. We're going to go into this one for 2. Let me zoom out, get that all in view. Number 2 right there. And then we're going to conclude with this one because this is just some wild energy going on here. Story 3 is going to be a wild one, Scorpio, so hope you stick around for the ride, and let's get to work. I'm going to reorganize where I put stuff since I did say we're changing the order of that a little bit. So we're ready to get going here, guys. Here we go, Scorpio. Finance. All right, so story 1, guys. The attachment card that they bring in that they want you to attach to figure out if this is your story or not is the card of, well, it would be strength if it was turned the other way. This is a card of weakness. So if you're having a really hard time financially, you're really struggling bad. And I don't mean just a little bit. And I mean, this almost is like an addiction of spending. It's just like you can't help yourself. You get money in your pocket, it's just got to go out. You got to go buy something with it. And that's what they show here is weakness. So if that sounds like you could very much be with me here in story 1. Now, there's a couple moving things. We do have some good news going on here. Not just bad, okay? The first thing is that we have big money on a block. What does that mean? That means it's either delayed, like it's coming later, but it's starting to present itself maybe in April, but maybe it doesn't come full term until May, June, who's to say, but it is starting to present itself in some way. So maybe you're getting an idea here of some big money coming through, or a notification of, something going on with work, or something that's going to affect you financially. And everything they talked about here, I know this is a financial spread. However, everything they talked about in this story, it's all pentacles, which is money. It's a coin in tarot. So the next thing they show here is prosperity. Okay, they're saying that your material needs are provided to you. So you need to follow your intuition. I'm reading the card directly here, guys. And follow your intuition and manifest your dreams into reality. So they're basically saying you have everything you need. So the job is enough to pay the bills. You're provided for. You have enough for the roof over your head, the water bill, the electric bill, internet, whatever it is for you. Okay, guys? So they're saying don't be stupid with this. And it makes me go back to that weakness card of like, well, why are you, if you have everything that's being provided to you, and it's the card of prosperity, you're prosperous, why are we having weakness come in here? Maybe you guys are having some loose spending habits that need to kind of change a little bit. And I say change because what we show next is my 4 of Pentacles. Let me make sure that exited because I don't want that to keep recording on us. All right, that would not be good. Make a file extremely long, I wouldn't be able to use it. So what we have here is the Hoarder card in tarot. So this is saying, it's actually adverse advice. This is a very interesting push because they say actually don't be a hoarder. So it's not about saving your money. It's about where you allocate it. You can still spend it or you can still move it around in great waves, great moves. And they show that because you're such in a prosperous situation. They just want you to make stronger moves with your money. Stronger financial moves, not stuff out of weakness, not fluffy stuff you don't need. This is more needs versus necessities. Maybe it's more about retirement. So what they say with the Hoarder card here, it's actually saying don't be a hoarder. So it's okay to spend. You don't have to save it. At first I was starting to read that inverted and it was making more sense to me that way. But Spirit knows best. And that's what they're saying here in story 1 is that it's actually okay to move this money around. It's just what you're doing with it, where it goes. Okay, that's what's important here because we have big money coming. And it's very important probably from a spiritual perspective that you're on the up and up with this. So you are seeing things very clearly when this comes. You know what to do and your future is not, at some kind of a loss or, a speed bump at the very least or a detour because of something financial that you just could have gotten straight in the month of April when they devoted your reading to finances, okay? So there we go. Story number 2, guys. Story number 2, and then we're going to break for some moon cycles. Story 2 is a lot of specifics. They hit you with all specific information here. They bring up indigo and crystal children. When that comes up, I usually just refer to that as they're just talking about kids. Your kids, maybe you are the kid. They're talking about your parents and you financially between the two. Either way, generation gap difference is what they show here. So there's generation gap of wealth that is moving between people, or that is being considered, or this is the time to address such things. Maybe like inheritance, maybe a will, something like that, right? Now what they show here first with my attachment card, because the children thing wasn't really the attachment card, it's just kind of information. The attachment card here is really emotionally like your heart doesn't know what to do here, and it almost kind of like looks at the bad side of things instead of the good. It's saying here that financially there's a lot of rewards here if you just kind of turn this around your perspective. And a lot of you, they're saying that you kind of just feel like all is lost here. There's just no turning this around. There's no way to fix this, something like that. So it feels like something's really broke. Now what they show next here is that Spirit is letting you know that this is just going to take time. This is maybe for some of you that have, bombed your credit, really got into some huge debt, got into some huge problems here. Okay, because they're showing that this is going to take time to pull out of. It doesn't mean that you're not going to, because you will. It's just going to take time, which means patience, which, nobody really likes. Patience is they call it a virtue for a reason. It's because a lot of people, aren't good at it. And that's why we all have to learn that lesson repeatedly, pretty much throughout life. Now, the other thing they're showing here, because I did tell you a lot of specifics are going on here, they do talk about the kind of the resistance of leaving something behind here, but you really do. You really got to leave something completely behind here and not look back. So whether this is like, letting your house go into foreclosure, whether this is just letting a bill go instead of like paying high interest on it, maybe you just need to let it go and hang for 7 years. Something like that is coming up. And, maybe this is in a good pretext or a context here versus like saying a negative thing. Maybe this is just like a bill you just gotta pay off and just get this monkey off your back, get it out of there, get it moving. And you're for whatever reason you're having a hard time letting this go. Maybe for some of you it's like a car or something like that. I can't afford this car, but I need a car to get to work. Well, I love this car. What am I going to do? So it's kind of this kind of dilemma what they show going on. They also show that this is going to end with a small victory. Victory comes up. That's a good way to end this. Looking forward ahead, they show that there are people looking over your back here. So maybe this is, like I said, creditors. Maybe this is debt collectors. Maybe this is the tow truck guy coming to get the car. Whatever it is for you here that they show, this ends very good for you, or at least a small version of good for you. But small wins cannot be discredited. They cannot be discounted, because you know what they do? It's just a small little rung up the ladder, and next thing you know, it's another small win, another small win. Next thing you know, you're at the very top of the ladder. It's also like small goals. So that could also be part of the advice here. If this is really you struggling here with certain things, set smaller goals for yourself instead of the big ones. The big ones are hard to achieve. The small ones are not. They're very simple. So we're going to break away, guys. They're going to hit you guys hard here, Scorpio. So we're going to get into story 3 momentarily. I'm going to break away for your moon cycles, because story 3, this is kind of the break in the wind here. This is where we go from like really tough lessons to, some really good things coming your way in April. But first, that moon cycle break, got to tell you about the new gemstone as well. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time. Very simple set of moon cycles this month. Going to be a very quick pull. Also going to tell you about a brand new gemstone in the shop. But first, those moon cycles. The moon cycles are starting to move through earlier in the months. So now we have the full moon that hits first in April. That comes through April 6th. That is the peak, which basically means from April 1 through about the 10th, it's going to be very strong energy for getting things out of your life. That is what the full moon does. I call it the garbage truck of the universe. Get anything out of your life that you don't want there. Use that energy to your benefit. It's already out there. The energy's already there with the moon. Might as well use it to your benefit. Much easier to walk downstairs than walk upstairs, swim downstream than swim against the current. That's what the moon cycles do for you. So it doesn't matter what you're trying to get out of your life either. The universe does not care whether this is breaking habits, whether this is getting rid of people. Some of you actually have to get rid of people and some cordage in your life, and all that stuff doesn't matter what it is. Much better placed early in April. Even if it's cleaning out a closet, a garage, getting rid of old things, maybe you got to sell something. That is all full moon energy, much better placed early in April. Adversely, we have the new moon, which comes through April 20th. April 20th is the key there. I can't say to focus on bringing new stuff in the end of the month anymore, because the 20th is moved up far enough here where the end of the month is getting more back into some full moon energy. So the focus for bringing new things into your life, manifesting in things that weren't there before, is the 3rd week of April. April 20th is the apex. It doesn't have to be on the 20th though. Any kind of time around there. Let's call it the 15th through the 25th. Pretty strong vibration there for bringing new things in, whether you're trying to attract brand new love, whether you're trying to do something new with work, get a new job, do something new in the health corner, or do something new with your money. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's brand new, it's much better placed under the new moon, peaking on April 20th, but anytime right around there is key. And like I said, don't wait too long into the month to get something new going, because if you do, you're going to bump into that full moon energy eking its way through from May, and we don't want to do that. So that is your moon cycles, guys. Like I said, short and sweet there, but let's talk about the gemstone. I'm really proud to bring this one to you here. This is the first gemstone that is in the shop that is actually a permanent part of the Scott Sagent table, and it's right here. It's a little piece of sodalite. Sodalite is the gemstone for this month of April that we are releasing and debuting for the month. And sodalite is, I call it my wisdom stone. It is good for many different things. I'm going to be posting that on the shop page of my little research bracket there, my little graphic with all the great things sodalite does for health, for metaphysics, and for the whole bit. I call it my wisdom stone. It's sitting right underneath my ruby record keeper. So we have wisdom on top of wisdom there. And this is a wonderful stone that you guys will enjoy. And the full write-up is available on scottsagent.com. Check that out. You guys will love it. Let's get back to your reading. Okay, Scorpio, I am back with story number 3, and I did promise you some good news. And it's not that the other 2 stories were about lack of good news, because it wasn't about that. It was just about factors and things to improve your lives, to really get the things kicking high gear here, really get the clock ticking. Because of some of you, timing is of the essence here. Timing is important. So as we get into story 3, this is where they kick off with good luck. Okay, so for some of you, if you've had good luck with finances, this could be your attachment to your story. This could also be, hey, this is the break in the wind from the other story. So this is where Spirit weaves that web, very fine line through these, silver line, connecting these stories all together. So that's saying that this is going to break soon. Okay, so especially if you've been on a downswing, that's what the Wheel of Fortune is. It is a card like a roller coaster, ups and downs and swings and loop-de-loops and inverts, all that kind of stuff. So what they show with the Wheel of Fortune like this is good fortune. This means that you've been down before and now you're on an upswing. Things are moving upwards, or they're about to be soon, okay? So very good thing to come in here for April. They also bring in angel therapy, so the angels are saying here, give us your cares and worries to us. Basically, leave it to God. They'll take care of it. They'll get your needs required, just like story 1 talked about. Your needs are being required, or being satisfied, long story short. And basically, they're saying, allow us to take your burden. So basically, they're saying, don't worry, don't stress, don't cause yourself anxiety and give yourself ulcers and all these things, because of you're stressed out about something with finances, okay? They're getting turned around, especially here in Story 3. Story 3 also talks about money being moved socially. A lot of you are spending here money with friends, with family, with camaraderie, having a good time. Just do it in balance, okay? Don't spend too much money on drinking, having fun, party and all that kind of stuff. You want to keep this in balance, and usually when that card comes up, it's saying, hey, you're doing a little bit too much here, a little bit too much finances going toward fun, okay? But it can also be the other way around. So just keep that into consideration, because if that doesn't make sense to you, you're like, hey, you know what? I actually don't do anything fun. Well, that's part of the problem also, guys, because you want to have, like I said, that balance. You want to have that middle ground attained. You don't want to be stuck having no fun in life. That's not what we're here to do. Okay, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a game. Here, now, the last thing they show is a very interesting thing, because we have a person coming in. This is the only time that they specifically talked about another person coming up with this good luck. This is somebody who's upside down. So that lets me know that this is, first of all, it's a prince. In other decks, this is a knight. So this is somebody who is a younger person. It could be a male or a female. Usually this is 25 to 35, but this range moves around. You could be, 70-year-olds who act like they're 25, and there can be 18-year-olds who act like they're 35. So, you get a mix. But 25 to 35 is kind of the target here, and they are inverted, basically saying they're not aware of this, or they are outside of the picture. Maybe you've cut them out financially. Maybe you stopped spending money on them. Maybe they're trying to get money out of you. I'm not sure what it is, but we have them on an invert, basically saying that they're in the dark about something, or they're upset about something. It could be one or both of those, or maybe all of it at the same time. So their story 3, guys, has been a very interesting financial spread. I knew it would be. Now I need to grab your rune stone, also your angel protection. I'm going to actually do your angel protections first. Got that one, and we got this one here. Okay, so the first one here is nurture, nurture, nurture. So it says, as you would nurture a child, you need to do the same thing for your own inner child. So be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself. And the more I look at it, the more I think about this nurture card, I feel like it goes more into story 3. And the reason why is because, first of all, they're pulling me with the colors. They're tying this together to make this make a little bit more sense to me. But also they're saying how important it is to do both of these things here. Now, what are both of these things? What, first of all, is nurture yourself like you do your child. Second of all, nurture the child too. Nurture the other person. And we have this other person here on an invert. So maybe there is a little bit of a neglect going on. Maybe some of you need to do something financially for the younger person, or maybe you guys are the younger person, need to do something financially for the older. It works both ways. So that's what they're showing here with nurture. So just something to keep in mind, that they want you to kind of be easy on yourself. Don't beat yourself up, especially over situations that are out of your control, because they're not going to change anyway. So there we go with nurture. The other angel protection card you have here is clairvoyance. It says here in the card directly, I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully, so you can clearly see heavenly love. So what does that mean? Well, that basically means here that the angels are helping you. You're not alone here. Not only are they helping you, but they're helping you see the signs. They're giving you this, clairvoyance is being able to see the invisible, to see the things that aren't there, kind of like faith works. It's like your ability to know that things are going to work out, even if they don't look like they are. Knowing that you're going to get through the fog, even if you can't see your way through the fog because it's just too dense of where you're at, where your location is, looking out right now into your paths. And that's what Spirit decided to do here for Scorpio, is they give you path 1, path 2, and path 3. So they're giving you different ways out in different context and different information for different Scorpios going through different things. But the common thread here is that they're saying they're helping bring this together. And maybe it's through this specific reading, you viewing it, or maybe it's more profound things in your life specifically. I always encourage people to look for the signs in your personal life, because if you're not looking for them, you will miss 120% of them. You have to have your eyes open, or in this case, your sixth sense open, your heart open, and see the signs that are, popping through here. So let's get into your runestone, guys. They're already mixed up. Give one last swirl. And here we go with the runestone for Scorpio. 2 wanted to come, but you're only getting 1. It's going to be this one. All right, so here we go. Let me show you. You just can't write this stuff up. What did I just get done talking about? The signs with the clairvoyance and all that stuff. The angels helping. This is the rune of signals, guys. Signals. So it's basically reiterating what we just said and kind of bringing a profound kind of divination push here to the whole thing. Spirit saying, look, believe what we're telling you here. You got to have faith. You got to have faith. And they're reiterating this with signals. Hey, we just had them talk about signals. Now we're going to give you a runestone for signals. So do you get the signal? Do you get it yet? That's what they're saying here. So signals is a great way to end because it brings the whole thing together. Literally, you can't write it up any better than Spirit just scripted this reading for Scorpio. So I hope you guys find these messages well. It's meant to improve your lives and to help you through whatever you're going through financially. And maybe this reading is not about you at all. Maybe you're a Scorpio that is doing fantastic and needs no advice at all. And Spirit just wanted to give this to the ones that do. So keep all that in mind as you go through it. And it was a pretty specific reading too. So some of you may actually have to go back and check it out one more time just to figure out the details of all the details that we just kind of threw, all the pickles that we threw at the wall. Please pardon one last cut in, Scorpio. I just realized I forgot to tell you something very important. Last month in the monthly reading for Scorpio, there was a synchronicity loop between Scorpio and Virgo that was quite fascinating, a quite phenomenal paranormal activity event that occurred. I made a video all about it. Hope you guys have checked it out already. If not, that is going to autoplay at the end of your reading here for you. I did that because you guys are a part of something magical. So that is going to wrap us up, guys, for what has been a very interesting reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future readings. I do these every single month, and have a great April.